Today we are exploring a town called Westbury. So come with me and Gigi as we head on into Westbury and get a feel for some of the sights. So this is the downtown area, which is really small and cute, so I wanted to show it. And Gigi's all dressed, and Byron is with us today as well. So come with us and let's show you around Westbury. All right, guys, so we're gonna start our video on the big draw and talk about another white horse. So just like in the previous video that I did in Cairn, there is another white horse in Westbury. It was first appeared in the 1740s, it looks like, and I have to be honest, this one is so beautiful. It is so easy to find. There's so many good viewing spots, but just look at this magnificent horse. And it's been here for ages and no one knows why. And according to this signpost, it's only ever been covered when it was covered during World War II to prevent spies from being able to see it from the sky. So it is really impressive. And so that is the big draw to Westbury. So some trips take a little bit more creativity to find connections than others. So this is going to be my big literary connection. First of all, this is the library, but this is also the Westbury house. And I'm going to show you, zoom in on a plaque here in a second to show you this house. And yes, those are palm trees out front, which was a very strange thing to see. But this street, while the house is not here anymore, this street is where James Wilson lived, who is the founder of The Economist. And that is going to be my literary connection because obviously The Economist magazine is a big deal still. And he founded that in 1843 and he lived on this street. Like I said, his house is no longer here. I can't remember if it was damaged or it was torn down, but you can get an idea of what that street would have felt like, probably without the palm trees. But as you can see, these houses all sort of have a look to them, which is super interesting because it doesn't quite fit the vibe here. All right, before we go any further, let's take a lunch break. Now, in all transparency, this was dinner because we didn't quite make lunch in time, but this is the Three Horseshoes pub just right outside of like the center of Westbury. It is so cute on the inside. I mean, it has that proper feel, and I just felt like a good old-fashioned fish and chips. I was missing the mushy peas, but as you can see, I still got my vinegar, but this meal was delicious. It was gluten-free. We absolutely had a wonderful time eating here. Highly recommend this place. It was honestly really good. Okay, so we have some very exciting off the beaten path today. So we're going to start in Clinger Wood, and this is unbelievable. I mean, this is just like, I don't even know how many miles and miles and miles of nothingness, of forest and quiet. I'm going to just be quiet for a second and let you enjoy some of this walk.
Okay.
That's me singing Pure Imagination because this was just wondrous. I felt like I could get lost in here and I would have so many berries that I could just forage on. Honestly, this was a thing of dreams. Really highly recommend. All right, this next thing is called the Haywood House, and this is a beautiful estate. There have been a plethora of high-level politicians that have lived here. We did not know this was not open to the public, so we quickly realized. I got a couple of quick shots through the trees, but yeah, this is a huge estate, and I was so sad that I couldn't get pictures, but there was an event going on this night, and I'm gonna put that on screen so you can see if this was something that you would be interested in, but maybe someday I'll get to go to an event here as well. This next property is called the Edgington Priory, and this is a church that has extremely old origins. So this was founded by William Edgington in 1351, but it was later turned into a monastery, and there are several clues around this property that show its monastery roots or its monastery origins. So I'm going to try to show you various angles of the church and a couple of the tombstones and such, but this wall is from some of the original monastery remains, I'm pretty sure, along with that house that is actually built into the side of the wall, which is really strange. This is someone's home, so I didn't want to linger on it too much, but This is one of the craziest, dumbest things I have ever done. So that's Alex up ahead. We are literally hiking through this field looking for this well called the Monk's Well or the Lady Well because the water there is meant to be incredibly clean and to have always meant to have never dried. And when I tell you this was a trek. Viewers, I'm just going to pause here and pretty much say that I am surrounded by stinging nettles. I have never encountered stinging nettles. I didn't know what stinging nettles were, and I left there covered in whelps from these stinging nettles. They are basically these plants that cause this dermatitis when they brush against your skin, but they sting. It felt like walking through a field of needles. Luckily, there was dock leaf close by. If you know, you know, but it doesn't stick around the pain for long, but it literally was the most painful little walk hike experience I have had in quite some time. Forgive the rain in the background as I edit, but here is the spring. It is literally in a side of a cliff mountain. You would not believe how difficult this was to get to. I wanted to get in there so bad, but the water was super deep at my feet and I just wasn't going to get my Sketcher Go walk soaked and it just wasn't going to happen. But yeah, this is the spring. Pretty cool find, honestly. Okay, for filming locations, the Westbury Railway Station, this shot pretty much right here was used in the film Hooligans or Green Street Hooligans, starring Elijah Wood. They transformed this railway station into the McAllisfield station, and the sign for it was right there above the door. But yeah, it pretty much looks exactly the same as it did in the film. They have changed out the benches, but other than that, it looks exactly the same. So really random, cool thing to find. Finally, I believe this is called the Westbury Pond, but this is a beautiful body of water. It's actually where the sailing club is based, and you'll see some of their sailboats here in the background of this shot. But it is so worth taking some time and coming by and spending some time here because it is so peaceful. It is so beautiful. The sun was out today. There was some nice different birds, as you can see, in the area. So yeah, this is really cool. So definitely don't miss this when you come to Westbury. And so the sun sets on another town exploration, another place to explore in the UK. So everybody let me know in the comments down below how you're doing, and Gigi and I will see you in my next one. Bye!